Hi everyone, Rachel here, the Modern Shaman. Thanks for joining me today for my YouTube video question and answer times. If you're new to the channel, I love to direct you towards my website, which is themodernshaman.net. There's a lot of resources for you there and information if you are interested in booking a one-on-one session with me, either here in my office in San Antonio, Texas, or on Zoom or on the phone, really anywhere in the world we can connect now. Also, my masterclass teaching curriculum is always available through the online teaching modules. Again, the link there to the portal is available on my website at themodernshaman.net. I have two announcements that I wanted to make on this week's video, one of which is all of November, my Black Friday deals are available. It never fails. Every year I have people asking like, ooh, can I go ahead and get these in October? So they're available now. If you are interested, these are huge deals on my discount packages. So if you're interested in buying more than one session. Also, I'll note a lot of people buy these and then they give them out as Christmas gifts. I don't have a rule that you are the only one that has to use them. Instead, I encourage people, if you're interested in giving gift certificates, that the way to get a great discount is to purchase a bulk of at least the minimum of 3. I think that's the smallest section, 3-hour sessions or 6 30-minute sessions. So anyways, these discount prices are now available. You can find out that information on my social media site and through my newsletter. If you're not on the newsletter, which you can get on through my website, I send out notifications letting you know of these special deals. So it's really once a year I do this sale. Also, if you are interested in sharing the winter solstice with me, it's going to be a wonderful ceremony time and clearing as well as activation and alignment with the winter solstice on December 21st, 6 o'clock here at my house. I am opening the doors to those of you guys that would like to share. We'll have a drumming circle, a special menu that just kind of serves to move our bodies into alignment with winter, herbs and spices, teas, and then we will do a clearing in the courtyard outside under the moon and an activation in the pool with water. And a friend of mine, longtime friend and colleague, Christina Jones, is going to do gong ceremony. So that will be very powerful time of connection. So if you're interested in those, either the Black Friday deals this month of November or letting us know, I kind of need a head count ahead of time in terms of letting me know about the winter solstice event if you're planning on coming. Okay, so that's all my intro information. I'm going to read the question you guys sent in and then we'll go from there. It says, hi Rachel, thank you so much for these videos. I learn so much every time, and sometimes I even watch them again and again and learn new information. It never ceases to amaze me. Thank you. And my question today is, I am doing the right thing, so why do I still feel like crap? I don't understand the fact that things are still so hard and I don't feel emotionally better when I'm doing the right thing. You know, this is a great question. A great question, because I feel like there's a misconception here. I have the same view, and I'm not sure if this is kind of a cultural perspective that, or myth that's been told over many, many generations through many religious practices and cultural myths of people groups, but where it's kind of like, if you're a good person, then this kind of idea of reward, right? Whether it's in this lifetime or the next, or when you get to heaven, it'll be great, or when you figure it all out, it'll be great. When you're doing the practices, you'll hit nirvana. You will experience peace. This kind of pattern of belief of transcendence, right? And I think it really screws with our head a lot when we are in a certain cycle that's longer. So our cycles of soul development can be compared to nature, right? And this is a beautiful metaphor for us understanding if we are in a longer period cycle, you can compare this to an oak tree growing, right? I'm in Texas and we have the oak trees, but you could pick any big tree, a sequoia, if you're in Northern California, whatever it may be. And when that seed is planted, it is a lot longer of a growth cycle than, say, if we spread some wildflower seeds. It may be seasonal. It may take a month. Really, it may take very short. I mean, some things that we plant come up in a couple weeks if we're watering them properly. And the growth cycle is really evident, and we see fruit of it quickly, and we feel better faster, and the wheel of that cycle spins at a faster pace of our personal growth. And you could look at that and compare that growth cycle to the growth cycle of the oak tree or the sequoia tree and be like, what the heck is wrong with me? Why don't I feel great? Why are my branches not, spreading? Why don't I feel the sunshine? Why don't I feel better? And you're still just a seed in the mud. And you're a seed in the mud for a long time. And that growth cycle and the depth at which those roots plant themselves into the earth is very deep. And it may take lifetimes sometime. And that's just the honest truth of it. Our growth cycles are different for the different aspects of our being. And the deeper the roots, the taller the tree, right? The more strength that we gain. But the roots take time in our experience, especially in linear time. So just like the metaphor of understanding your soul growth through nature and through the planting of a tree versus the planting of a flower, there has to be a recognition that the work itself, the practices themselves, are beneficial. And you have to squeeze and glean all of the peace, the satisfaction of taking action, the emotional reward for knowing that I wasn't passive, that I wasn't inactive, that I said that prayer every single freaking day, whether it was raining outside or sunny, whether I felt like I was knee deep in the mud and only literally just digging my roots deeper and deeper into the trenches, into the crap. And sometimes it looks like that, especially when we are looking at our own trauma, when we were doing the healing work. The beginning is hard, man. You're seeing all the crap that you've been avoiding forever. You're noticing all the areas you need to change, and they just keep coming up and coming up and coming up, and things that you thought you dealt with, there's another branch that splits off in your roots, and now you got to deal with this. Or it's affected other people, and you've got to heal that relationship. So there's a lot to that, and be encouraged and kind of try to glean the sense of satisfaction from the work itself, and take a break if you need it. Get some water, get some light, get some sunshine, right? I keep seeing this image of a tree, so I'm using that metaphor, but it is the same for your soul and really for our biological system. We are nature. I post things about that all the time. When you see the root structure of a tree, and then you see our nervous system covering our lungs or the bronchioles or these things, that we are absolutely nature. Our form is beautifully created on this earth, even though our spirit inhabits it. So I think if I'm going to give you kind of a step-by-step, play-by-play with this, or some steps, first I would encourage you to let go of any myth or assumption that when you're doing the work, life should be good. It's not always that way. And sometimes things have to get deeper or break down or separate before the healing and the growth can fully take place. So it may look like that for a lot longer if it is a deep growth cycle, especially involving ancestral lineage, patterns in the family bloodline. And this timeline that we're on right now, this group of souls that have chosen to incarnate, basically like us, if you were here watching this video, there is a pattern, or I'm seeing that there are many, many souls here right now to essentially break those ancestral patterns of dysfunction and separation and trauma and a lot of pain, emotional pain. And so many of us have part of this as our soul purpose, because this has to happen for our species to evolve. It's happening. But this is part of what evolution looks like. Mutation, right? And it's not always pretty. But it's always worth it. Even if the fruit takes many lifetimes to fulfill that cycle. And I don't know about you, but I feel that for myself when I look at any of my past lives that are in connection with certain relationships. I did a past life session many years ago with my first husband as kind of the focus in that relationship. And it's interesting that the lifetimes that I saw were lifetimes that I'm still working on that cycle. I'm still finishing, hopefully finishing that cycle into fruition, at least my part of it. And it's taken many lifetimes to do that. And I know I'm not alone in it because I do past life sessions for many people. And a lot of what comes up in relational dynamics, at least, is the healing cycle that's taken multiple lifetimes to bring into fruition. So don't be discouraged. Step one, let go of that myth that if I'm doing the work, life should be good. There's actually a lot of literature, sacred literature, that's the opposite. Job, I can think of off the top of my head. In the biblical tradition, I mean, it just got harder and harder. And it doesn't mean that some things don't, they're good at the end, but the end is not always in our lifetime or when we will see it or the way that we expect it, right? Another thing that I will say as step two is what I mentioned earlier, just to reiterate, is to squeeze all of the goodness out of, and the enjoyment out of the practice of it. Enjoy your meditations, enjoy your healing practices, whether they be, choose practices that you enjoy. I love acupuncture. I love hypnosis. I love, I love drumming. I love sound healings. There's a lot of things that I enjoy throughout my personal growth. I love meditation. And sometimes it's harder than others. So enjoy the practices that you're doing to heal. And the last step, I guess, step three, it's not really a step, but I will say keep going. Don't give up. Hold the hope in your growth cycle. That this one may just be the tallest sequoia in Sequoia National Park. It may just be the tallest tree with the deepest roots in the forest. But if you're in the middle of it, you're in the middle of it for a reason. You are that tree. You are that strong, strong tree. There is no mistake in choosing you and choosing that growth cycle. You were born for it, baby. Put on earth to do it. All right, I hope that's a blessing to you guys. Mwah. Much love. I'll be back next week with another video.